Let's go. Good job, by the way, tonight. Yes, good job, by the way, tonight. Let's head downstairs for the post-game presser.
What did you see out of your defense tonight that they did so well against Wilkes-Barre's offense?
Well, I think all week we talked about playing better defensively, and obviously when you take Gomez and Carrick out of the lineup, and then once Verona came down with the Flues, that's a lot of offense that comes out of the lineup, and we just felt that we need to play better defensively. And I thought last night it was a great effort. We protected the middle of the ice really well, the D-zone coverage, and our neutral zone was excellent. And I thought for the most part tonight we did some real good things when we didn't have the puck. And the better you play defensively, the faster you get the puck back, and that's something we've talked a lot about here recently.
You had 3 power play goals tonight. That's obviously a big. You guys are scoring a lot of goals, but the power play is something that's kind of been a work in progress. What are you seeing out of your power play, and what did you see tonight that sort of allowed it to produce 3 goals and really got you kind of going?
Well, I think that like you said, the power play has been a work in progress, and obviously when you add Gomez to the mix there for 18 games, we really had some great looks, and it's not necessarily the power play scores on every opportunity, but they need to create momentum. So for that pocket, when we had Gomer running the strong side there on that 1-3-1 with Borky, we were getting a lot of looks and getting a lot of goals, and once he leaves, you needed to kind of redo things a little bit, and we didn't want to mess with that unit too much, and Walker's had a great run and playing some great hockey for us, so as a left shot, we thought we just, instead of tearing everything apart, we thought we'd put him in there and see if he could do the job, and certainly he's got some work to do, and but he's done a nice job there. But the other thing that we did, we made a second unit with Camper, and Gaisley and Collins and Ness and Juice, and then we got the 2 lefties up there, and I thought they were actually the better unit last night, even though they didn't score, and they really moved the puck well in practice this week when we put those units together, both days when we worked on it, and it paid off for them tonight.
I mean, results are one thing. I mean, you got 3 power play goals tonight. That's good. But are you liking what you're seeing, day to day, and then it's translating into, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday? Are you becoming more and more confident in that unit? Especially now that you have 2 units that you seem more comfortable and confident.
No, absolutely. And I think that's one of the reasons why we've all of a sudden became, third highest scoring team in the league, and I think we lead the league or our division in goals for. And the power play is part of that, because we were doing some really good things 5-on-5 all season long. But once Gomez came and we settled the power play down and got that going, and it's continued here, and it's nice to see 3 go in tonight, because we want to try our best to get that percentage up on the power play as best we can here.
Big night for Carter. He had a goal and 2 helpers. Might have been in on a 3rd goal. Is he that guy that you're kind of one of those guys, or he is that guy that you're looking for, with Gomez out, that his role might be increased?
Yeah, it's been a tough stretch for him, because we had the vector problem, and we still do. Just I felt with the Verona out sick and Stevens is still injured, we were a little bit. We needed some forwards, and Camper. We thought that was another thing we didn't want to do too much. I didn't want to, Walker and Barber seemed to have some really good chemistry, and obviously they had a nice little thing going with Gomez. So instead of just tearing all the lines apart, I just felt, I'll slide Camper in there. He's a guy that's gotten 50 points a year in the American League, and the last 2 nights they've been very, very good. And Walker's compete in his speed, and Barber's compete as well in his knack for the net. And Camper's, he's been a guy that's been able to see the ice with pretty good vision over his career. So he's hung in there. It's been tough because him and Morsey have been kind of rotating as that veteran scratch, and it's never easy. But he's really stepped up here the last 2 nights, and I really like that line, and hopefully it continues.
Again, second period's been, you guys have had pretty good success in the second period, and you come out and go boom, boom, boom. It's 3-0 after a scoreless first period. anything in the second period or anything that you're seeing in the second period, and what did you see tonight in the first 10 minutes that was it any different than any other second period most nights?
Yeah, I don't think so. I think it's just a kind of coincidence that we, are scoring so many goals in the second. I thought, last year, I believe led the league in first goals of the game, and it's just, I think it's great that we don't have a lot of lull periods in our game, because you got to control the momentum swings in a hockey game, and that's the biggest thing, because you're not going to dominate for a full 60 minutes. The other team is going to make their pushes, and you just got to try and control that the best you can, and I think we do that fairly well this season. Last year, for example, I thought the second periods were our worst period. We were great in the first and seemed to be a real good third period team, and there's a little bit more consistency with this group in terms from period to period. And that's great to see, because that's what you're doing. You're trying to control those momentum swings when the other team makes their pushes, whether it's 5-on-5 or, after a big penalty kill or, after a power play. And we did that, obviously they got their goal there late, a second, and that was a momentum swing. They had the power play. We couldn't get it out. Bowie comes out of the box, and you're defending, and they get their goal. And those are the type of things you need to control over the course of the game.
This kind of maybe seem a bit. Does it seem like, from the opponent's perspective, when you're looking at, you don't know where it's coming from. Like it's like you guys are on an avalanche right now. You can look and it could come from 6, 7 different guys on any given night. Could light you up. And tonight I thought after they made it 4-2 in the third period, you sent out Sill and Mitchell and O'Brien, and simple effort produced a goal from them. They went out there and wanted the puck more than them, and that's something that is part of that avalanche that teams are going, where's it coming from?
No, absolutely, and I think that's another reason why we're third in the league in scoring, is because we got such great depth. Nobody's, besides Borky, who's leading the league in scoring, and we got a couple of rookies right up there. It's very balanced, and Sill's line's really been the only line that's been together from start to finish. If you think about from training camp on, and Liam missed a few games for an injury, and Mitchie and Sill spent some time up with the Caps, but overall that line's been pretty consistent together. I really like them starting games, starting periods, and creating momentum swings after a power play or after goals, and that's what they do best, because they're able to forecheck the heck out of you and create a lot of momentum with just wearing teams down in their D-zone coverage. So, that, and on top of that, most nights, if I can get the matchup, I'm trying to get Sill's line out against the other team's top lines. And I thought again tonight, Jeffrey got the goal, but that was out of after the power play. But after the first 4 minutes of the hockey game, I pretty much had Sill's line play against Jeffrey's line all night long. Okay, great. Thanks. See you in 2 weeks.
All right, so Troy Mann obviously happy with the effort of the boys here tonight. 6-2, your final score, and